What if your body was already warning you that something isn't right, but you don't know how to interpret it? Big health problems don't always start with intense pain or obvious emergencies. Sometimes they begin with small things: a tiredness you didn't feel before, a meal you no longer feel like eating, a forgetfulness you choose to ignore. These are silent signals, and when we overlook them, when we normalize them or simply attribute them to age, we lose a valuable chance to act in time. The human body is wise. It always tries to warn us when something is starting to fail. But the problem is that many times we don't listen. Not because we don't want to, but because we don't know what to look for. We were never taught to read the subtle signs of bad aging. We get used to living with discomfort, with pain, with small losses, until one day, it's already too late. Most older people don't die from sudden illnesses. It's not a heart attack that comes without warning. It's not a stroke without notice. In many cases, the body has been giving clues for months, even years, saying, "I'm weakening, I'm shutting down." And if we don't pay attention, if we don't act, those signals turn into chronic conditions, dependence, suffering. This video is not to alarm you. I'm not here to tell you everything is wrong or to fill you with fear. What I want is to help you detect in time, to recognize those silent signals that are often ignored, but that can make the difference between living well and simply surviving. I'm going to tell you about 7 symptoms, 7 seemingly minor changes that may be telling you your body is not aging well. And most importantly, I will explain why they happen and what you can do about them. Because it's not just about living more years, but living them with quality, autonomy, and joy. And that starts by knowing how to listen to what your body is trying to tell you. Before we begin, I'd love to know a little more about you. Tell me in the comments, how old are you and where are you watching from? That way I can get to know you better and prepare even more useful content for you. Now get ready, because what's coming may change how you see your own aging forever. Click. Signal 1. You get tired faster, but you don't know why. Getting tired is normal. No one expects to have the energy of their 20s when they're over 60, but there's a very clear difference between aging and aging badly. And that difference often starts with something that seems insignificant. You get tired faster. One day you realize climbing stairs leaves you breathless, or walking a few blocks forces you to stop. And worst of all, you think it's normal, that it's part of age. But it's not always so. Let me tell you the story of Raul. He is 74 years old, and for a long time, he was very active. He walked every day to the market, climbed on foot to the second floor of his house, and tended his garden with enthusiasm. Until he began to notice something strange. When he reached the first flight of stairs, he needed to stop. He felt short of breath. At first he thought it was because he had slept poorly. Then he thought it was the heat, or that he was getting old. Months went by like that. He did less and less, and felt more and more tired. Raul didn't know his body was sending him a clear signal. Something was not working well. What many people don't know is that excessive tiredness can be a silent symptom of multiple problems. A heart that no longer pumps blood with the same strength. Lungs that don't oxygenate properly. Loss of muscle mass that reduces endurance. Anemia that weakens the body. Metabolic problems like poorly controlled diabetes. When this happens, the body needs more effort to do the same things as before, and that extra effort translates into constant fatigue. Do you find yourself cleaning the house easily before, but now needing to sit every 20 minutes? Or that you can't walk the same distances without your legs hurting or running out of breath? Don't ignore it. Those small signs are not just age. They can be the beginning of something more serious. And here is where many people make a mistake. They wait until there is pain to worry. But when pain appears, often it's already too late. On the other hand, unusual fatigue, shortness of breath with little effort, or having to stop doing simple activities because they feel heavy, are signals you should take seriously. Now, how can you tell if that tiredness is normal or not? Here are some basic recommendations. If you get tired doing tasks you used to do easily, pay attention. If you notice you need more breaks walking, climbing stairs, or even talking, consult a professional. Get a checkup of your hemoglobin level, lung function, and cardiovascular health. Many times the problem isn't mental or age-related, but oxygen, circulation, and muscles. Evaluate your muscle strength. Can you get up from a chair without using your hands? Can you carry a shopping bag without feeling your arms go numb? Observe your breathing. If you breathe faster than normal after light effort, that's a clear sign your body is demanding more than it should. And finally, don't minimize it. Don't think it will pass. The body doesn't complain without reason. If living your daily life is getting harder, maybe you're not aging as you should. But the good news is that if you act in time, there is a lot to improve. In the next signal, we'll talk about something that silently affects millions of older people and often goes unnoticed until it's too late. Loss of appetite for no apparent reason. Tag. Signal 2. Your skin is becoming more fragile and bruises easily. Skin is much more than an outer layer. It's the mirror of what's happening inside your body. And when it starts becoming thinner, fragile, or covered with bruises easily, it's not just an aesthetic issue. It's a silent signal that aging isn't going well. Some think bruises are a natural part of getting older, that if purple spots appear on the arms or legs without a strong hit, it's nothing. But it is something. Your body is talking to you, and it does it through your skin. Let me tell you about Emilia, a 77-year-old woman who always cared for her appearance. She always dressed in bright colors, short-sleeved shirts, skirts. She loved walking in the park. But in recent years, something changed. She started noticing that every little bump with a table, the market bag, or the car door left a big bruise. At first, she thought it was a coincidence. Then, when she looked in the mirror and saw her arms covered in spots, she began wearing long-sleeved shirts. Not because she was cold, but out of shame. She didn't want others to think something was wrong, and that itself was already a warning sign. Why does this happen? There are several reasons, all related to internal processes you can't see, but can feel. Loss of collagen and elastin. Over time, the skin loses elasticity and thickness. It becomes thinner, exposing the tiny blood vessels underneath. Any small bump can break them and cause a bruise. Poor circulation. When blood doesn't flow properly, tissues get less oxygen and nutrients. This weakens both skin and blood vessels, making them more prone to breaking. Prolonged use of medications, especially blood thinners, corticosteroids, or aspirin. These drugs, though necessary in many cases, can make vessels break easily and bruises appear even without hits. Deficiency in vitamin C or K. These nutrients are essential to keep capillaries strong and skin healthy. A lack of them can manifest with frequent bruising. So, what can you do if you've noticed your skin is more fragile or bruises appear often? First, don't ignore it. Talk to your doctor and review your medication, vitamin levels, and circulation. Often just adjusting dosage or adding certain supplements makes a big difference. For natural solutions, here are some options that may help. Eat more foods rich in vitamin C, like citrus fruits, kiwi, strawberries, or peppers. This vitamin helps strengthen collagen and heal better. Include foods with vitamin K, such as spinach, broccoli, or kale, which help improve clotting. Use creams with retinol or collagen that help strengthen skin from the outside. Apply cold locally after any mild bump to reduce damage and inflammation. But the most important thing is to understand that skin doesn't weaken by itself. It's a sign that your tissues, blood vessels, or circulatory system might be deteriorating. And if you don't act in time, that superficial damage may be just the beginning of deeper problems. Wounds that don't heal, ulcers, or even fractures from falls linked to overall body weakness. Your skin is talking to you. Are you listening? In the next signal, I will talk about something many people think is emotional, but that can actually be a clear physical symptom of a body aging poorly. Loss of appetite, without explanation. Signal 3. You wake up several times during the night. Poor sleep is not just an annoyance, it's a warning. And no, it's not true that as you age, you sleep less. That's one of the big lies many end up accepting as normal, until the body starts paying the price. If lately you wake up several times at night for no clear reason, or feel like you sleep but don't rest, don't ignore it. Your body could be aging badly, and it's asking for help in a very subtle but persistent way. Let's meet Ernest. He is 74 years old. All his life he was active, methodical, one of those who values every hour of sleep. But for a couple of years, something changed. He woke up at 2, 3, 5 in the morning, sometimes to urinate, other times for no reason at all. The next day, he felt tired, irritable, and had trouble concentrating. He thought it was part of age. He told friends, and everyone said the same. That happens to all of us. So he accepted it, normalized it, and went on, without knowing that fragmented insomnia was damaging much more than his rest. Because what many don't know is that poor sleep interrupts fundamental body processes. Deep sleep is when cell regeneration occurs, which is key to keeping organs, muscles, and tissues healthy. The brain consolidates long-term memory. If you don't sleep well, you start forgetting things, small at first, but over time, those forgetfulness episodes become more serious. The immune system is strengthened. Many defenses you need to fight viruses, bacteria, and illnesses are produced at night. So, when you wake up once, twice, or more times at night, these processes get interrupted. And repeating it every night puts the body in a kind of chronic alert mode, which speeds internal wear. But why does this happen? Here are some silent causes often overlooked. Overactive bladder. In older age, it's common for the bladder to lose holding capacity. This causes the need to get up to urinate several times, interrupting sleep. It's not always pathological, but can be treated and improved with exercises, medication, or diet adjustments. Sleep apnea, a very underdiagnosed condition in older adults. It consists of small pauses in breathing during the night, causing brief awakenings, although the person doesn't remember them. Loud snoring, sudden awakenings, or feeling like choking can be signs. Anxiety or chronic stress. Yes, it also happens in older age. Worries about health, loneliness, money, or children can stay in the subconscious and keep the brain from fully resting. So, what can you do? First, don't accept poor sleep as normal. It isn't. Sleeping well is essential at any age. Here are some practical tips to improve your sleep hygiene. Avoid liquids 2 hours before bed to reduce nighttime bathroom visits. Create a relaxing routine, a hot shower, some reading, or soft music. Help the brain understand it's time to rest. Turn off screens at least 1 hour before sleeping. Blue light from phones or TV can interfere with melatonin production. Keep your bedroom dark, cool, and quiet. This environment favors deep sleep. Consult a doctor if you suspect sleep apnea, anxiety, or urinary problems. There are simple treatments that can transform your rest. Sleeping well isn't a luxury. It's a biological necessity. And if your body struggles every night to reach restorative sleep, it's a silent signal that something inside is off. Don't ignore it, because lost rest comes at the cost of health. In the next part, we'll talk about another signal many confuse with things of age: loss of appetite without apparent cause. And what it reveals may surprise you. Signal 4. You've lost your appetite or no longer enjoy food. All your life, food has been more than nutrition. It's been pleasure, gathering, joy, habit. So, if suddenly you notice you've lost appetite, no longer enjoy your favorite dishes, or could go all day without eating, don't take it lightly. Your body is talking, and it might be saying it's aging poorly. Maybe something similar happened to Matilda, a 78-year-old woman who was always a fan of homemade cooking. She loved making stews, baking bread, sitting with her family on Sundays. But over time, she began to notice something strange. Hours would pass without hunger. Sometimes she ate out of habit, without enjoying it. She started skipping dinners, then lunches. She lost weight but didn't worry. She thought it was part of getting older, but it wasn't. Science is clear. Appetite is closely linked to longevity. Older people who keep a good appetite and balanced diet have better muscle function, less risk of infections, and more energy. When appetite disappears, it's a symptom that something deeper is going on. Behind this loss of interest in food may hide hormonal changes. As we age, hunger hormones like ghrelin decrease. This can make you simply not feel like eating. Digestive problems. The stomach produces fewer acids, which slows digestion and creates quick fullness. Discomforts like gastritis, constipation, or reflux may also appear, making eating less pleasant. Neurological changes. Some brain conditions like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's alter taste, smell, and the brain's hunger control center. Depression, a silent but common cause. Chronic sadness, loneliness, or loss of purpose can take away your interest in eating, even when delicious food is in front of you. All this may seem small at first, but if ignored, consequences pile up. Muscle loss, weakened immune system, more frequent falls, constant fatigue, and general deterioration that speeds aging. So, what can you do if you've noticed you eat less for no apparent reason? Here are some practical tips to regain your appetite. Make meals a social ritual. Eating alone dampens appetite. Try to eat with others at least once a day. Sharing a table reactivates the desire to eat and improves mood. Don't wait until you're hungry. Plan small but frequent meals. Sometimes hunger doesn't come alone, but when you take the first bite, the body reacts. Include lively flavors. Many people lose taste sensitivity, so play with spices, herbs, textures. Not everything should be soft or bland. Food can and should still be tasty. Consult your doctor if you've lost weight without trying. There may be metabolic problems, silent infections, or side effects of medications influencing it. Don't force yourself to eat large plates. Sometimes it's better to have 5 small portions a day than 3 full meals that leave you uncomfortable. Remember, eating isn't just a biological need, it's also a sign your body is working well. When you stop eating, you don't just lose weight, you lose energy, connection, vitality. And that's a silent warning you shouldn't overlook. Part 6. Signal 5. You suffer small forgetfulness that you didn't have before. There's a big difference between being distracted and starting to forget things you used to remember easily. Did you forget where you left your keys? Do you struggle to remember the name of someone close? Were you going to do something and suddenly don't know what it was? Memory can change with age, yes, but persistent, frequent forgetfulness or confusion shouldn't be ignored. Isabel, a 79-year-old woman, started by forgetting birthdays. Then she left the stove on and went out shopping. When she returned, everything was burned. That scared her, but she thought it was stress. Her family took it as an isolated event until she started repeating the same stories several times a day. That's when they decided to seek help. Mild forgetfulness can be part of normal aging, but when it increases, interferes with daily routine, or comes with disorientation, it may indicate the start of mild cognitive impairment or a more advanced condition. Factors that worsen it. Social isolation. The brain needs interaction. Chronic stress and anxiety affect concentration and memory. Poor nutrition, especially low in fatty acids, B vitamins and antioxidants. What to do? Stimulate the mind with reading, crosswords, memory games, or new learning. Maintain an active routine with social interaction. Prioritize quality sleep. Include foods like oily fish, nuts, red fruits, and green vegetables. Consult a doctor if forgetfulness affects quality of life. The brain is a muscle. If not exercised, it weakens. But if cared for, it can keep working brilliantly for many more years. Part 7. Signal 6. Your wounds take longer to heal. A wound that doesn't heal well is much more than an aesthetic problem. It's a body alert. And when scratches, cuts, or small injuries take weeks to close or get infected easily, it's a sign your organism is losing defense and regeneration capacity. Charles, 80 years old, got a small cut while pruning plants. At first, he didn't pay attention, but 2 weeks passed and the wound was still open, red, and bothering him. In the end, he needed antibiotics and constant dressing. That's when his doctor explained his immune system no longer responded like before. Slow-healing wounds can be related to poor blood circulation, especially in legs and feet, type 2 diabetes, even if undiagnosed, nutritional deficiencies affecting cell regeneration, lack of physical activity, which reduces blood flow. Common companions to this problem: gums that bleed when brushing, frequent minor infections, nails, skin, urinary tract, persistent inflammation. What can be done? Check for underlying diseases like diabetes or vascular problems. Maintain proper hygiene of any wound, no matter how small. Improve diet with proteins, zinc, vitamin C, and iron. Stimulate circulation with daily walks, massages, or gentle exercises. Don't smoke and avoid excessive alcohol. The body ages, yes, but if a wound won't close, it means something deeper needs attention. Don't wait for complications. A small wound can be the window to a big body warning. Shag. Signal 7. Your balance is failing more than normal. Small stumbles, difficulty climbing stairs, or a constant feeling of instability when walking. Does this sound familiar? Sometimes we blame simple distraction, shoes, or tiredness, but losing balance more often isn't a coincidence, and it definitely isn't a normal sign of aging. It's an alert signal your body is using to ask for attention. Let me tell you about Ernest, 76 years old. He had always been active, walking every day until one afternoon he tripped on the edge of a rug at home. It was a mild fall, he thought, nothing serious. But the blow caused a hip fracture. He had surgery and spent weeks unable to walk normally. When he was able to move again, he wasn't the same. He lost confidence, strength, and every step scared him. It all started with a mild loss of balance that he ignored for months. Do you know why this signal is so dangerous? Because it comes without pain, noise, or strong warnings. Simply one day you stop feeling steady. And when that happens, the risk of falls increases drastically. For older people, a fall isn't just a scare. It can start a chain of problems: fractures, hospitalizations, loss of autonomy, and even fatal consequences. Balance depends on several systems: the inner ear, known as the vestibular system, vision, muscle strength, and brain coordination. When any of these start to fail, your stability is affected. Some diseases causing this are Parkinson's, peripheral neuropathy, or side effects of certain medications. But there's good news. Balance can be trained. Age doesn't matter. Simple exercises like walking a straight line, practicing Tai Chi, lifting one leg for a few seconds, or even climbing and descending steps with support can strengthen your reflexes, improve coordination, and give you more confidence moving. It's also key to check your vision and hearing health, as both actively participate in maintaining balance. And don't forget something fundamental. If you've fallen more than twice in less than 6 months, if you feel unstable when turning or walking on uneven ground, consult a specialist. Preventing a fall today can avoid losing independence tomorrow. Listen to your body. If you feel less steady moving, don't ignore it, because sometimes staying on your feet is the first step to continuing with quality of life. Tag. We've gone through 7 silent signals that indicate your body might be aging unhealthily. But before you worry or get overwhelmed, I want to leave you with a clear idea. Aging isn't the same as deterioration. Yes, years go by, but how they go depends largely on you. Every signal we've talked about today, from unexplained fatigue, sleep disturbances, to unstable balance, is not an inevitable sentence. They are messages. Messages your body sends to get your attention, to adjust course, to make decisions that can bring back quality of life, energy, and above all, well-being. Your body talks to you every day, sometimes with a small forgetfulness, other times with a creaky knee, or a wound that won't close. But if you ignore it, if you downplay those messages, then the time will come when it doesn't whisper but shouts. And often when it shouts, it's too late. That's why don't wait for a fall, a disease, or a loss to force you to change. Start today, from where you are, with what you have. Maybe you just need better sleep. Maybe you need to walk more, eat more consciously, or simply talk to someone about your worries. It's not about doing everything perfectly, but about not staying still, about listening to those signals and acting. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these signals have you noticed most in yourself or someone close to you? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to read you and know this video reached those who need it. And if you found this information useful, I invite you to share it with an older person, a friend, a family member, because maybe, thanks to you, that person becomes aware and changes in time. Finally, if you aren't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now. Every week we share content made especially for you to help you live this stage of life with more health, dignity, and joy. Thank you for being here. See you in the next video.